Many people believe that oxytocin only plays a role in labor. However, oxytocin also facilitates the bonding between parents and their baby with lots of immediate benefits for both of them.
Yeah.
But there is more. If you successfully bond with your baby, you also lay the groundwork for a better social, intellectual and emotional functioning of your baby later in life.
Yes, so in this video we are first going to briefly discuss why bonding is so important for both parents and the baby. Then we are going to share with you the 8 most important ways to bond with your baby, which will help you maximize oxytocin levels. And then at the end of this video, we also show you a short baby massage treatment, which you can apply every day to bond with your baby.
Yes, and just that you know, we recommend watching this video even before you go into labor, because bonding starts with the birth of your baby.
Right.
This is Natalie, a pregnancy and birth consultant and TCM therapist.
And that's Matthias, a researcher and science geek.
And on this channel, we help you and your baby naturally and science-based. So let's get started. Oxytocin is often called the hormone of attachment because it helps us bond with others by helping us build trust and develop empathy for others.
Right.
Because of that, oxytocin also allows us to build a relationship of trust and empathy with our baby. So the more effort we put into bonding with our baby, the more oxytocin is being released. And the more oxytocin, the stronger the effect of the bonding, meaning the stronger our attachment with the baby.
Yes, and it is remarkable to know that both parents and the baby are going to benefit from that bonding process. For example, both are going to experience a decrease of stress levels because of the oxytocin that is being released. But the effects of bonding are also long-term.
Yeah.
Most importantly, bonding with a baby also allows the baby to develop their own oxytocin production system.
Yes, in fact, studies have shown that if babies don't experience that maternal engagement, their body also seems to be less able to fully benefit from oxytocin that their own body produces later in their
Right.
life. As a result, such children often have problems with their social, intellectual and emotional functioning. Plus, they find it much harder to manage stress.
Right, on top of that, other studies also show that bonding seems to protect children from internalizing disorders such as depression and anxiety.
Right, so the next question is, what are the best ways to bond with your baby if you want to maximize the release of oxytocin?
Right.
So let's have a look at our 8 best ways to bond with your baby. It may not seem obvious, but a natural birth is indeed a very important way to bond with your baby if you want to maximize oxytocin for several reasons. First of all, the mother is much more actively involved in the birth process. As a result, she feels much closer to her baby because of what she has accomplished together with her baby.
Yes, moreover, during a natural birth, the mother's body releases lots of oxytocin, which, as we already know, is an important basis for the bonding process.
Yeah.
And third, a natural birth allows that bonding process to start straight away, unless, of course, medical problems arise which prevent you from being with your baby.
Right. On the other hand, if you have an emergency C-section, for instance, you're often unconscious and cannot be with your baby straight away, right?
Right. If that's the case, it is recommended that daddy does the bonding initially instead.
Yeah.
In fact, daddies should always be included in the bonding process because bonding also allows daddies and their babies to develop stronger bonds.
The first couple of hours right after birth are probably the most important hours in the relationship between you and your baby. This is the time when your baby lies on you, skin to skin, which initiates strong instinctive behaviors in both of you, because this is the very first time when both baby and mother engage with each other.
Yes, they feel each other, they smell each other, and this leads to a surge of hormones in the mother, including oxytocin.
Yeah.
The baby, on the other hand, will engage in behavior that normally instinctively leads to the first breastfeed by self-attachment.
Yes, this skin-to-skin contact comes with so many benefits that we could do a separate video about it. But just to name a few, it calms and relaxes both mother and baby, it regulates baby's heart rate, and it supports the breastfeeding and mothering process because of the oxytocin. And just so you know, the same also applies to babies in neonatal units, where it helps to reduce baby stress levels, helps them with growth, improves oxygen saturation, and many more things.
Yes, and by the way, that skin-to-skin contact does not end after a few hours. It should be an ongoing process over the first 72 hours, ideally even during the first week after birth.
Yeah.
And once again, it should not be restricted to the mother only. Babies equally benefit from skin-to-skin with their father. Fathers, on the other hand, develop a better attachment with the baby. It is often believed that bonding and the subsequent release of oxytocin only happens if you touch your baby. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
A very important way of bonding with your baby, which will also increase oxytocin levels, is smelling each other.
Yes, in fact, studies have shown that both mother and baby are able to recognize each other just by smelling their scent. And since smelling each other releases oxytocin in both mother and baby, smelling alone will calm and relax both of them. And that process of getting familiar with each other's scent starts right after birth.
Yes, because of that, it is recommended that you avoid too much perfume or deodorants when you're with your baby, because it will prevent your baby from being able to smell your own scent.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind that you don't always have to be physically present for your baby to be able to smell your scent. For example, let's say you have to leave home for an hour. Well, in that case, just leave the shirt which you have worn that day with your baby.
Yes. Also keep in mind that the same also works with the father of the baby. In other words, the earlier and the more dad is bonding with the baby, the more both get familiar with each other's scent, which benefits both of them. Another highly undervalued way to bond with your baby is eye contact. And that too starts right after birth, and it goes both ways, right? Now, of course, initially, your baby is not able to see properly, and so baby is not able to make out any faces.
Yes, nevertheless, babies do develop an interest in mommy's face even as early as within the first 7 hours after birth.
Yeah.
And in those moments when babies and mommy's eyes meet, that emotional bonding is being established, leading again to a release of hormones on both sides.
Yes, but it does not only work with mom, the same emotional bonding also happens when baby's and daddy's eyes meet.
By the way, bonding through eye contact works particularly well when you feed your baby, because it allows you to look into each other's eyes. And the great thing about that is that you can do this no matter if you're breast or bottle feeding your baby.
Yes. A final word though, please keep in mind that you cannot force the eye contact with your baby, particularly if your baby is either hungry or fussy, right? Because of that, you will find it much easier to establish eye contact with your baby if your baby is satisfied and calm. Moreover, keep in mind that your baby is not able to focus on your face during the first couple of months, right? So initially, keeping eye contact with your baby is not a simple task, but you will get there.
Talking about feeding, one of the most important ways to bond with your baby is breastfeeding. And there are many reasons why this is so important.
Yes, so first of all, the act of breastfeeding itself releases oxytocin in both you and your baby. And of course, that oxytocin has the usual benefits for both of you. However, when you breastfeed, the release of oxytocin also has benefits which are specific to breastfeeding. For example, it helps your baby get to the milk more easily.
Yes, but another great benefit of breastfeeding is that it allows you to combine several different ways of bonding.
Yeah.
For example, breastfeeding also allows you to have that skin-to-skin contact with your baby. You can both smell each other's scent and you can look into each other's eyes. As a result, breastfeeding has a mutually reinforcing effect in terms of oxytocin release and bonding.
What's also important to note is that while breastfeeding is a super effective way to bond with your baby, it is not a requirement to successfully bond with your baby. In other words, if you cannot breastfeed for whatever reason, don't be worried. You can still bond with your baby when you bottle feed your baby. And of course, bottle feeding is also something that dads can do for bonding, right?
Another highly undervalued way to bond with a baby is using a baby sling. It allows you to keep in close contact with your baby. You're able to smell each other's scent and you're even able to look into each other's eyes. So plenty of oxytocin that benefits both of you.
Okay, this one is a bit complicated, but it's still very important to bond with your baby. So basically, a baby will try to communicate with mommy through their behavior in the hopes that mommy reacts in a desirable way. Such behavior could be crying or cooing or smiling or eye contact in the hopes to see a reaction of mommy.
Right.
And if baby sees that mommy reacts to baby's attempts of communicating, over time, the baby develops a confidence in their own ability to efficiently communicate with mommy. This in turn will increase the mother's confidence in handling her baby in a competent way. And of course, the same concept also applies to daddy's reactions to his baby, right?
Yes. Now, of course, in order for this to work, it is important to react to baby's attempts to communicate in a certain way. Luckily, most parents do this instinctively the right way, right?
Yes. So for example, if you hear your baby cooing, you probably won't say something like, "Hey, what's up, baby?" You're most likely going to react to your baby's cooing by saying something nice in a high-pitched and calm voice, right?
Yes, baby language, right? Like, "Oh, hello, darling, are you smiling at mama?"
And this is exactly when bonding happens. We cannot emphasize enough the importance of touch for both the mother and the baby, which is why skin to skin is so important, right? However, there is also another very important way to bond with your baby through touch, and that's a baby massage treatment.
Yes, not only can a baby massage treatment increase the bonds between the parents and the baby, it also comes with so many other benefits for the baby, such as reduced stress levels, pain relief, a positive effect on weight gain, on physical growth, on the baby's development in general, as well as on baby's appetite and digestion, etc.
Yes, on top of that, the mother benefits from baby massage treatments too. Less stress and anxiety, greater confidence in our mothering abilities, and much more. And because this is such an important way to bond with your baby, we want to show you a very simple baby massage treatment which will allow you to bond with your baby whenever you apply it.
Right.
And by the way, if you like, we also show you an extended baby massage treatment, which also involves a baby facial massage treatment and a baby foot massage. If that's something you would like to learn, check out the description below this video for more information. But in this video, we only show you a very short treatment, which however will not be less effective to bond with your baby.
Put some oil on your hands and rub your hands so that both your hands and the oil get warm. Place your hands on her belly and move upwards to her shoulders. From there, move downwards from her shoulders all the way down to her hands. Go back to her shoulders without touching her and then stroke downwards over her abdomen and eventually over her legs down to her feet. Do this 3 times. Next, focus on your baby's belly. This step is quite easy. Simply apply circular movements clockwise around her belly button for about 5 seconds. Next, focus on the baby's right arm. Start on the baby's shoulder and use your thumb to apply circular movements while moving downwards on the outside of the baby's arm, all the way down to her hand. Do this 3 times while applying gentle pressure. Finish this treatment by gently stroking downwards from her shoulder, all the way down to her hand. Once you're done with the right arm, do exactly the same on the left arm of the baby. focus on the baby's right leg. Start with the baby's thigh on the outside of her leg and use your thumb to apply circular movements while going all the way down to her ankle. Do this 3 times while applying gentle pressure. Next, work your way upwards along the baby's right leg, starting with her ankle. But this time work on the inside of her leg. You can either apply the same circular movements as before, or simply apply gentle pressure with your thumb while going all the way up from her ankle to her thigh, just as I'm doing it here. Do this 3 times. Finish this treatment by gently stroking downwards from the baby's thigh all the way down to her ankle. Do this on the outside as well as on the inside of her leg. Once you're done with the right leg, do exactly the same on the left leg of the baby.
Okay, so this was our baby massage treatment for bonding. And again, if you want to learn more about our extended baby massage treatment, check out the description below this video.
Yes, if you have found this video helpful, we would be super grateful if you could leave us a like or even a comment in the comment section below.
Yes, and for more useful tips and tools on pregnancy and baby related topics, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell.